Hello, this is Bridget Round with Divine Essentials. I don't know what's going on, guys, but this video does not want to come out. I'm just going to do it as quickly as possible because I keep getting text messages. My sister just sent me a message and it turned off the video. I was like, what's going on? Like, it just went off. And I was like halfway through a spiel. So basically, we are doing Alcyone light healing. We're done with level 3 and we're going on to level 4. And it's not going to be a very long level. Like some of the other levels are kind of long. Probably level 3 probably felt like forever because I had to take a couple of weeks off there and had some craziness going on. But basically, this is going to be 6 weeks. Which probably sounds like a lot, but it's only on the weekends, so it goes by quickly. And this is going to be helping us with, our belief systems. It's going to help us with our heart chakra, because each level connects to a chakra. There's seven levels. So this is the level that we're going to connect with green. And you want to wear green or eat green. You want to be aware of your heart. For this level, our bonus materials are at the last week of it, so I want you guys to be doing the bonus work during the whole time. So, like, I don't want you to wait until I do the heart chakra video and then the meditation, because I want you guys to be, like, in the energies always, all the way up until then, so that you can be more aware of and be doing the practices and all of that. So in your manual, there is on the first page of level 4, the bonus heart chakra, wear and eat green throughout the duration of the level. And then we're going to have a channeling from the heart discussion, and then an opening the heart chakra meditation. So in the other levels, I did videos more so where I was like telling you about the heart chakra, or tell you about the sacral, telling you about the solar plexus, tell you how it, is. This one is about channeling from the heart. So it's going to be like a little like, hey, this is how you channel from the heart. And then I'll give you guys some like blip, 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 blip about the heart chakra, because I know not all of you guys know the chakras, and you should, because knowing all of the chakras opens up a whole new doorway for you, especially if you want to be a healer. If you want to be a healer and you're doing healing and you're seeing green, that may be indicator that it's the heart chakra that needs attention. And if you know what the heart chakra is connected to, you will have a better shot at figuring out what's going on with this person, and what to say to them at the end of their session, and just trusting your intuition. Because that was one of the main things for my sessions, was at the end of the session when I would go up to the people and they'd be like, oh my god, I can't believe you went here, like I've been having pain there so long, blah blah blah. And then I would be like, yeah, and I felt this here, or is there something going on here? And they'd be like, oh my god, yeah, blah blah blah. Because then you confirm to them that, like, it's real, it's not crazy, you're not weirdo, like you're actually like confirming to them things that they have wrong, and you're confirming to them, and also as a healer, I would offer to them, advice or, ideas to help them to balance that area. So by the end of this, you're going to have, tools for each chakra. You're going to have tools like limiting belief removal. You're going to have tools like soul retrieval, talking about inner child, talking about past life. Now, that was something I was saying before I got cut off for the 100th time, is that as healers, as, readers, whatever you want to be, there comes a point where you've got to, like, jump in and just do it, and the more that, like, I want you to jump in and become the healer. I want you to jump in and become the tarot reader or whatever, but I don't ever want you to stop healing yourself, because Spirit's going to deliver to you the people who are ready for you to heal. Say you overcame addiction. So all of a sudden you may start noticing that the people who come to you for healing session are in recovery, and maybe they're like not as far along as you are, or they're suffering with a particular part of it, or they're having anxiety attacks, or they're just suffering in some way that you haven't, or that you did but you're not no more. So having that advice, having that wisdom of, I was there and this is what I did, creates a bond with you and the people that you're healing. Creates like resonance when you are doing tarot and oracle card readings for people. Like, people love my readings because I don't just read the card, like, I'm not like, this is what this means and this is what this means and blah. Like, I relate with them and I relate with their stories and I relate with what is going on behind the meaning of the card. So the more that you can think about your own life, because spirit usually brings to you the people who are going to resonate with you, and if they don't resonate with you, they'll find somebody else that they do. So don't worry about it. You can't please everybody. I try to be encompassing within my readings, and I try to be encompassing within my healings of like all possibilities, and I kind of like, maybe, but I always start off, somewhere where it's like blah 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 blah, and that's usually the main thing that resonates, and then I kind of like go into little details that kind of pick up on the little subtle stuff that they're like, how do you even know that? And it's like, you just trust your intuition, whatever your intuition is telling you, because I haven't been married and I haven't had kids, and there's a lot of things I haven't done or wouldn't do, but I bring it through in my reading, or I bring it through in my healing, because that's what that person did and that's what that person has going on, and I don't judge them for it. Just because I didn't or wouldn't doesn't mean that I don't recognize it when it's being done, or that I don't recognize that it's happening, and that it's an issue for that person, and I try to offer solutions or a new perspective to them to help them to heal, because you're going to be the healer. Whether you're being a tarot card reader or energy hands-on healer or a crystal healer or a sound bowl player or a trance channeler or an automatic writer, it doesn't matter which way you choose to do this work. You're a healer, and you're somebody that is going to want to bring new perspectives to people. So you're going to want to constantly be educating yourself and healing yourself. So everything that's in Alcyone Light Healing, from beginning to now to the end, those activations that you purchased, listen to them more than once. Don't think that you are done with your past lives, or that you're done with the Akashic Records, or that you're done with the inner child by listening to one activation. You are activated into the energy of healing yourself and others. You're activated into the energy of being able to help other people to access the Akashic Records, or to access the Akashic Records to get the information for those people that is needed that can't access it themselves. So you can have that pathway up there, so utilize it. And it's like the same thing with the things I'm creating right now. I have a workbook that I just finished. It's a Tarot Oracle workbook, 30 days long, and each day you will either use your tarot or oracle cards, depending which one you're comfortable with, and you have an activity to do and a journaling prompt, and basically every day is different. And every day is like, here's a jumping point for you to get started into your healing process. And the way that is going to be is like a PDF that you download and print. So you just print it, do the 30 days, but if you know that like that inner child one that we did really struck something in you, go back to it and do it more and do it more and do it more, and use like an actual notebook to write in, rather than on the page of the journal that I'm giving to you, or the workbook that I'm giving to you. And then you keep going deeper into the levels and layers of healing. That's what we need to be doing as healers and as channels. And then the other one I'm making is a twin flame union workbook, but it's gonna be, I'm not like pussyfooting around in it, and I'm not like, if I say like, how to manifest union with your twin flame, your divine union, I mention things that are clear indications that you may not be dealing with your twin flame, because if you're not, then there's no way you're gonna get to twin flame union by barking up the wrong tree. And I also, I just come out the gate kind of like, stop doing this, stop doing this, stop doing this, start doing this, start looking at that. And I even at one point was like, I'm not trying to trigger anybody. And if you get triggered, I, ask you to not shoot the messenger, and to not just give up or throw the book away. To ask yourself, why are you triggered? And that's a thing that you want to be mindful in any work. Like, what triggers you is usually what needs to be healed in you and has some sort of truth to it, or it wouldn't bother you. If somebody said something and it wasn't true to you on some level, you wouldn't get mad. You wouldn't be like, I'm out of here. You would be like you'd laugh it off, or it wouldn't sting. But when somebody says something that is got that air of truth to it that you don't want to hear, or it hurts, or it's like, yeah, I know, it's like, I know, but I don't want to know. That's a clear indication of something to heal. So that was in there too, just as a forewarning for those of you who are out there that are sensitive and only want to hear the fluffy duffy, everything's gonna be fine and you're gonna be okay. I don't lie. I don't tell people like what they want to hear. I tell them what they need to hear so that they can get to what they want to get to. Because if you want to get to a divine union and you're barking up the tree of a karmic narcissistic ass hat, that ain't gonna happen. So in those things too, there's tools for the person that's, reading the book, and then tools to use for their twin. But if they find that one of those things is something that is good, they keep using it and keep utilizing it and keep, exercising it until you feel like you're done healing that. And you're never done healing anything, but you're much better off than you were. You get yourself to a new perspective, new energy, new place where you can help other people, and you start attracting other types of people to you. Like throughout my journey, I've attracted all different types, all different places. Like the twin flame thing came around when I was like dealing with my own weird twin flame thing. Now that I'm kind of done with my twin flame thing, I feel like things are kind of shifting again. Like now I'm doing the crystals more than I'm doing like the readings, and before that I was doing healings, and I just go with the flow, and I don't limit myself. And I feel like that's the thing, is so many people feel like they need to just choose one path and just stick to it, and that's it. Whatever you want to do is what you want to do, and if you don't want to do it anymore, don't do it. Don't do something until you hate it. Do something until you're like, yeah, I'm going to do something else, and open up possibilities to do something else. Get creative in how you present yourself to the world, how you present your gifts to the world, and exercise all of the things that I'm giving to you here. Like find the things that really fit for you, that feel good, that make you go like, I really want to do that again. I like doing that, or I feel like I meant to do this. Collect those things and make them the strongest parts of you, and keep going. But this level, we're going to be talking a little bit more about removing implants and entities. I know I got messed up at the end of level 3 because I was like, why are we doing this activation? I haven't talked to them much about this. So basically, we're going to go next week talking a little bit more about removing implants and entities. Like basically, what maybe the signs could be that somebody, has one, or, like maybe you'll feel one. And I feel like it's really intuitive, so it's hard for me to be like, blah, 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 this is exactly what's going to happen every single time, but we'll talk about it. And then clearing demonic attachments, we're going to talk about. And please don't get scared when I say that. It's only going to present to you if you're ready for it. Like when the person came to me and needed an exorcism, I wasn't prepared, like mentally, like thinking that like, oh, I'm going to have an exorcism. But when it got on my table, I knew what to do, and I knew exactly what to say and how to say it and when to say it, and everything worked out and everything was fine. It wasn't until after, when I came back, because you're supposed to remove yourself from the process of healing, channeling. So it's like I was there, but also spirit is acting through you. So it's like spirit takes over. Spirit tells you what to say, or like speaks for you basically. And I just knew like what to do and what to say with this particular person. So we're going to talk about that too, like working with everyone, the levels of consciousness that we're working with. We're going to talk about all different types of things in this level. We're going to do more soul retrieval, and we're going to talk about like the fragment retrieval, which is basically what a soul retrieval is. And then we're going to talk about how beliefs and thoughts create things. We're going to talk about how intention dictates the thoughts and the things that we create. And then trauma hinders the beliefs, our energies, and intentions. So we're going to talk about all of that stuff. And then we're going to go into automatic writing. And we're going to talk about like the tools and preferences for automatic writing, because you can do automatic writing where it's like really trance-like and really like deep into it, and it's like, oh, it's probably messy and shit. And then you can do it more so conscious, like, and then there's tools like sometimes what I'll do, like with the love letters, I will pull cards like that. I have specific decks that I'll like pull cards from the Divine Masculine, put them out, kind of like my trance channeling messages from them on the Bridget Rao channel, where it's like I pull the cards and then I speak what they want to say based off of what cards are there and based off of what they're saying anyways, and it kind of like confirms it for people. People like cards because it confirms what the person's saying. Like a lot of times if I'm shuffling while I'm speaking, a card will pop out while I'm saying the word that corresponds, and I'm like, because it's even confirming for the reader to be saying something and have that card pop out that corresponds with it. It's like, okay, we're on the right track. But like with automatic writing, sometimes I will pull cards and then I sit down and write the message that the cards are saying. So that's like a form of automatic writing. But then there's like the more trance-like automatic writing where I don't have cards, I don't have anything around me, I just write what comes through to write. And that's more so like when the Pleiadian emissaries write through me. If people ask specific questions like, what do I need to do for my purpose? Or what do I need to do for this? It's like they come through and they write the thing without the cards. If it's, a love letter, because it's more so a divine masculine who's like a 3D presence, who has an I am presence, but, they've got, like, and the people down here want to know more so about the person down here. I use the cards as a catalyst to get, like, a trigger to the I am presence who's going to deliver what that person is feeling. But it's like done, and it's hard because I know when I send these letters off to these women, sometimes it's like they feel like that guy just said everything to them that is in the letter, but really it was the I am presence letting us know what that man would have said. So people need to be careful when they get those letters to not be like, oh my god, I feel the same way, because that person doesn't know that they just said all that stuff. But that's what I mean. There's different levels, there's different ways to do automatic writing. We're going to talk about opening up to channel. So like opening up to do this, and then getting out of the way to do it, and trusting what you receive, just like trusting when you're in a healing session. And the only way to do that is to practice. And practice with somebody that you can, like, have them ask you questions that you don't necessarily know the answers to, and then just intuitively, whatever you feel like you need to write, you write it without overthinking it. Just if you get a word, you write a word, and you may feel like you're making it up, but when you're done and you read it to that person, or you tell them the words that you got for the question that they asked, they're probably going to be like, oh my god, how did you know that? And it just, once you get that, like, oh, yeah, then you're going to feel more confident in, like, receiving those little inklings and those little words, and you piece more words together, and you start realizing what's being said, and you get better at it. Then we're going to talk about protecting yourself and others, like, while you write. So like when you're doing a healing session, we open the vortex for the person that we're healing, we open the vortex for us. Same type of stuff when we're doing automatic writing or when we're doing any spiritual work. You're going to protect yourself and others. And then building your dictionary, which you guys have heard me mention. We're going to talk what the dictionary is and how to build it and how to, like, create it, which is not like a real thing, but it's a real thing, but it's not a physical thing. And then let me see here. So we're doing that. Then we go into bringing in the writing frequency activation. So some of you may not be writers. Like for me, I've been writing since I was little. I can sit down and write a poem that rhymes very quickly. And I always thought that was just like me. Like I thought it was normal to be able to do that. Like I didn't think much of it. But then when I started doing automatic writing, through spiritual means, I realized that all of the writing I've been doing since I was a kid, and all of this, like, rhyming stuff that comes, because sometimes when I do trance channeling, it comes through in rhymes. I don't know if anybody's ever noticed that, but it will be like, and I'm like, stop it. Sometimes it like aggravates me because I'm like, stop rhyming, but I can't. It literally won't stop sometimes. And it happens to me a lot when I write. Like, I'll be trying to write, like, a serious, like, this is a healing thing, like, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, and I'm like, we don't need to rhyme this whole thing out. Like the 30-day activation thing, or the 30-day tarot oracle card stuff. I'm like, wait, this doesn't need to rhyme, because then it's just weird. But I can't turn it off sometimes. So basically, we're going to bring in the writing frequency for you. So if you're not a writer, or you're somebody that's not a big fan of writing, you'll be able to at least receive the frequency of the writing that you need to receive, so that you can write the messages that you need to write. And you can do this from, many different levels and layers. And we're going to do a movement meditation. So I receive in different ways. Sometimes I receive while I'm driving. Sometimes I receive while I'm just, like, not doing anything. Sometimes I receive while I'm in the middle of a healing session. Sometimes I get, like, downloads in the middle of a tarot reading. So it happens a lot when I talk to you guys, like doing these videos. But basically, a movement meditation, one of the times that I receive, like, I move, and it's like being in the flow. It's like, like a shamanic drumming or chanting, like the my body rocks in different ways, and I can't, like, mimic it unless I'm in it. And we're going to do a meditation, like a movement meditation, so you can try, seeing what you receive with the repetitive movement, and getting into that. So it'll probably be a meditation kind of like the one I did before this, where the camera's pointed at me instead of away, and you guys can see like what I'm doing in it, so you guys can know what I'm talking about. And then we're going to have a soul fragment retrieval activation. So basically a soul retrieval without like the Lyran aspect, because we did the Lyran soul retrieval where we were like going back to the Galactic War to retrieve anything from that. We're actually going to be going and just doing a soul retrieval. So you'll know what a soul retrieval is, like in this sense of we're just doing a regular soul retrieval for this lifetime for any traumas that were experienced where soul fragments were lost. And then you can use that for past lives, and you can use that for other people. And you can take people on. You don't have to be like some magical, mystical, able to speak this beautiful whatever. You just got to take them on the journey. Like the person who did mine in my class that I had when we were doing soul retrievals, like they're not the type of person that guides people on meditations and stuff, but they guided me and they did it, and it worked. So it's like you don't have to be like, oh, like and know all these crazy words, just whatever works. And then we're going to do Atlantean soul retrieval meditation. So those of you who have been in Atlantis, which I feel like a lot of the people who are drawn to Alcyone light healing, you may have been there for the fall. Either there's like two ways that this can manifest. You may have been there as one of the jerks that knew it was going to fall and left everybody to die and went, other places, like to the to the Egyptian, mystery schools, or to Tibet, or wherever it was safe to be, because you knew that shit was going down. And so you may have left some stuff behind that you need to retrieve, like guilt and, I'm sorry's. And then you could have been on the other end of that, where you were at the fall and you just saw your entire, civilization fall and everybody die. So there may be some stuff to retrieve, and that will help you guys. Those of you who get sad, emotional with it, it should help you to retrieve the parts of you that were lost in that, so you can heal that. And then after that, we're going to do Becoming the Channel with the Lyran Pleiadian activation. So for me, I became the channel through the Pleiadians, and the Lyrans are their ancestors. The Lyrans are the ancient ones, the older ones of everybody. So working with those two, I feel like will bring in the right frequencies, whether you're a man or a woman, whether you're Pleiadian or Syrian, it doesn't matter who you are. They're going to come in with that energy to help you to become the channel, to trust you, ability to channel, so that you'll trust what you're receiving, whether you're doing it through automatic writing, or you're doing it through tarot, or you're doing it through, crystal healing, or whatever you want to be, whatever you want to do. That's going to open you up for that. And then there's going to be a setting clear intentions for healing, manifesting, and expansion meditation. And I say it all the time that, our intention's the biggest thing within healing. It's the biggest thing within all of this. Your intention is huge, but so are your beliefs. And where was that? So it's not this week coming up. Where is it? I could have sworn we were doing something about beliefs. Yeah, beliefs thought. All right, well, next week we're going to talk about beliefs. So throughout this level, I want you guys, that's part of your homework. So your homework, which you guys can basically start now for some of it. Part of it you will wait till after we do the automatic writing week. The first part, it says practice automatic writing, movement meditation. So those two you're going to have to wait until you know what that is. And then you'll do like a practice with somebody. So you can do a long distance one or in-person one for automatic writing. So you're going to get somebody that's going to ask you questions, that you're going to set up protection for you and them, and you're going to open up that frequency and allow yourself to channel automatically writing the answers to the questions that they've asked you. So it could be somebody from the group, it could be somebody from, it could be somebody like a friend of yours, a parent, doesn't matter. And you don't have to sit there with them, like if you get the questions from them, like go sit in your room by yourself if you feel more comfortable that way. Look at their question, read their question, and then just write the answer whenever comes through, and set up protection for yourself and them while you're doing it. Even if they're not beside you, you can send that vortex, out. And then there is write a list of limiting beliefs you wish to change. So you guys can do that now. And be aware of it, because our limiting beliefs are limiting us always. And it's everything that you believe. So if you believe that you're clumsy, like if you're like, I'm wicked clumsy, I always fall down, I always get hurt, I always do this, or blah blah blah, that's what you're going to attract, that's what you're going to do, that's what you're going to be, that's what you're going to see. So that belief that I'm clumsy is going to make you clumsy. It's basic, it's just so simple, and it's like people don't realize it. So become conscious of the things that you own, as like, I am. Like, I am bipolar, I am sick, I am this, I am stupid, I'm ugly, I'm fat. All these people saying, I'm fat, I'm fat, I'm fat, I can't stand it, I'm fat. Stop owning it. Stop believing it. Stop creating it. Everything that you believe is what you ripple out, is what you attract. So if you keep looking in the mirror and thinking, I'm fat, and I'm gross, and I'm ugly, that's what you're going to see when you look in the mirror. It's really simple to change your beliefs, but you've got to get rid of that one and be like, okay, I'm beautiful, I'm skinny, or don't even go to skinny, because then you can go too far the other way, and I did that. So go more so like, I am healthy, I am beautiful, I accept myself, I love myself, and you'll start to see a reflection change. You know, you'll start to reflect that beauty, because you'll have more confidence. You're not going to be believing the bullshit lies that you're telling yourself, because society has given you beliefs that you're not good enough if you're, you know, not a size 0. And your history has given you beliefs based off of what you've seen in history, or what you've experienced in your life's history. And then your ancestors have given you beliefs. So like if your entire family was on the bigger side and they were always like, I'm fat, you're fat, we're all gonna be fat, we all eat food because it makes us fat, we're fat. Like everybody in the family is going to believe that, so they're just gonna like pass it down into the kids, and then the kids are gonna get big and like believe that there's no other choice but to be that way. But then there's somebody who breaks, like there's always that one person in the family that's like a twig and everybody else is big. I was like, that person didn't fall victim of the belief system that just because they're part of that bloodline, they had to be big, you know? So, but it happens. And that's just an example. Like it can be with money. It can be with the people that you romantically attract. It can be with every little thing that you do and every little thing that you say and every little thing that you believe is creating what you're, you know, rippling out and what you're attracting. If you believe that I have to work hard in order to make money, that's going to be what you do. You're going to bust your ass to get the little bits of money that you make. And that could be because your dad did it, and his dad did it, and their dad did it, or just because you heard that as a kid and like some teacher was like, you're going to work hard if you want to succeed. And so now you believe that. And that's how your reality's set up and running. But if you realize, like, there's a lot of people out there that don't do nothing at all, except for, like, delegate to a billion other people what to do, and they're making lots of money sitting on their butt. So, there's easy ways to make money. And then the spiritual community, another thing that I've noticed within this is, like, people get all weird about money. We live in a society that is run on money. So as a healer, as a light worker, as a tarot card reader, as a whatever, you gotta make money. Like you can't survive on bartering in this community. Like there's like, what are you gonna do? Nobody even has shit for you to barter anyways. I got an egg. Here's an egg. Oh thanks, that's gonna hold me over for breakfast. Here's your $60 session for my egg. Like you gotta think like normal. You gotta be with the times. Just because back in the day they bartered doesn't mean that we gotta continue to barter till we're dead. Like we gotta break out of that thing of like, oh, it's not spiritual or blah blah blah. Being in abundance and being, you know, knowing your value and worth and having healthy boundaries and respect for yourself and your time and your energy is a good thing. And if you need to eat and you need a place to sleep and you need a car and you need gas for that car to go to places to get that person's healing, like I used to travel to people to do a healing session in their home. I needed money to get the car to them, and I needed money to, like, you know, survive and eat and do all those things. But there was a time that I felt guilty charging for my services because people were like, a real healer won't charge. And I've seen it not that long ago. Somebody was like, you'll know that they're a real healer because they don't charge. What do they do? What do they live on? Where do they go? Like, where are these magical creatures that apparently don't eat and don't need a home and don't need anything? Or are they not full-time healers? Because there's the people who, you know, work a full-time job and then dabble in this Or there's people who do this full time always, like me. I'm constantly doing this work. So if I didn't make money, I wouldn't be able to do it. And there was a time that I didn't make money and I struggled and suffered, you know, but I changed my beliefs and I changed my life and I changed everything, and it's gotten better. And I don't want people coming into this that way. I don't want you to come into this thinking that it's not spiritual, or that you're not really a healer if you charge for your services, or that you should only charge $20, or you should only do $10. Like, charge what you're freaking worth. Don't come out the gate like it's $200 for my 5 minutes, because that's not fair. You're not going to be like that good at it. And don't gouge either. Like, I feel guilty when I go too high up on my prices. I'm like, I can't do it. I go back. Like, most people who've been reading that have like a following, like I follow, like my following, I look at their thing and it's like 30 minutes is $200. My 20-minute reading was $44. Like, that's a big jump. So I don't gouge, but I still make it. Like, I still make it in other ways. Like, spirit will help you to make money in multiple ways where you don't even need to really like be like, hey, give me $500 for your session. And you don't need to do that. Like, it will come when you're open to it and you believe that you deserve it for what you're doing and what you're putting out. And when you give, you receive. And if you don't worry about it and you don't stress about it, you don't break, you don't limit yourself from it. Like, I'm finally at a point now where I'm not worried about my business failing. I'm worried about not having enough like people, or enough, like, how do I handle the expansion of it, is my worry now. And it's a much better worry than worrying about, what if I fail? What if it falls apart? What if I don't do good enough? What if, like, I'm not beyond that now. Now I'm like, I don't know how to keep it all together. I don't know how to, like, it's gonna just keep getting bigger and I don't know what to do. Like, that's a better belief system, a better feeling, or a better way to be about yourself and your situations and what you're creating and what you're putting out, so that you can be abundant and attract and keep growing and expanding, and figure it out as you go. Like, all right, I guess I need to hire another person, or I need to delegate this task to someone else. Like, as much as I don't like giving control or power to other people, I have to, because I can't do it all myself if I want to continue to scale. So, don't limit yourself. Don't believe that it's not okay to be like that. Some of the most successful people out there that you probably are like, ooh, they're amazing. They're making millions of dollars writing their books and, traveling and doing their seminars and talking to people and whatever. So there's nothing wrong with that. So if you've got beliefs like that, find them, clear them, heal them, replace them with new ones. And that's basically it for level 4. And I will see you guys next week. Imune, namaste.